Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has given us unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure or admire an old one. What will we find today? Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
What if a revival broke out in the U.S.? I'm not talking about a 2-week-long revival at Asbury, as great as that was, but a revival that put Christ front and center in our nation so that God is glorified throughout the land. What would be different? How would our culture change? For those who know and love the Lord, how would our priorities change? How would ways we spend our time and money change? How would our inner compass shift? And how would that affect our families, our church, our communities, or even the world? When God gets a hold of people, old things, old way of life just disappear, and all things become new. We see that happening in Ephesus in Acts 19, while Paul and his mission team were in residence. In fact, Paul was contemplating leaving for Rome as he sensed his time in Asia was coming to an end. But before he could act on this, something happened that caused an uproar against followers of the way, which is what they called Christians at the time. Don't you love that? Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. So his followers followed the way. So what was the problem? Remember back in Thessalonica when rioters accused Christians of turning the world upside down? Well, Ephesus was feeling the effects of this. So many people in Ephesus had turned away from idols to the one true God who didn't have an image for idol makers to replicate. If God could have been represented by something that they could make, like a cross, then idol makers probably wouldn't have been all that bothered by the change in religious beliefs. But as it was, business was falling off significantly for the idol makers. I'm wondering what businesses today would get upset if we had a revival sweep through the land. What industries would be affected? Bars and nightclubs, surely, but many other businesses as well, I'd guess. In Ephesus, a silversmith named Demetrius got a group of idol makers together to gripe about the situation. You know that group of people in your office, always around the water cooler or the coffee pot griping about something? That's these guys. Only they decided to do something about it. These followers of the way, this new religion, was cutting into their livelihood, and they'd had it. Of course, this was more about profits than religion. But the group decided their best strategy would to be standing up for the main goddess of Ephesus, Artemis, or Diana. The temple to Diana is considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. You can visit its ruins today, though it's hard to conceive a huge temple of that pile of rubble laying there. So these artisans probably feared that worshiping idols was going out of style, which we know now is true, at least those kinds of idols, the silver, gold, marble, and stone kind. Considering that all idols in our lives are just Satan's way of getting our eyes off of God, what are some new tactics he's using? He knows that we realize worshiping idols of the stone variety is wrong, so he substitutes other things. What in your life has been getting between you and God? What are you going to do about it?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. We'd love to hear the treasures God has given you through His Word. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you can find in the description below. Thank you for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.